It's great for the people here. Just to be in front of them and give them a little slice of home when sometimes you get, different acts in here that are just kind of coming in, going through the motions. I think this is going to be a little bigger, a little more heartfelt than that, just this time of year, being from here and being very vocal about trying to do positive things and represent our city correctly. So I think it should be a good time for everybody, at least at halftime.
What does it mean to you? You have really carried from the American Music Awards to your Made in Detroit. You're really carrying the flag for Detroit. And do people around the country get it? And what does it do for you as well, being from here?
Well, they definitely get it around the country. A lot of times I read and they say, okay, we get it, you're from Detroit, cut it out. It's just obviously growing up in and around here, spending time in the city and being from the suburbs, it's just I really want to carry that flag and do everything I can because there's so much style in this city. There's more style in this city than anywhere I've been in the world. And just hardworking people and so much great history here. And even though there's been a lot of things that are, I guess, looked upon as negatives, and a lot of them are very true where they're at. Just kind of want to go out and, I guess, to kind of rally people, especially here in our hometown, especially with the years we've had of kind of 8 Mile being the segregation line. We're kind of starting a new campaign right now outside of Made in Detroit called We're All Detroit, and trying to find ways to bridge this gap between the city and the suburbs. It's really been kind of created by the politicians throughout the years in my eyes. I was never really aware of it because I had friends in the city and hung out in the suburbs and vice versa, back and forth. But as I got older and started to really get into it, there's really a gap there that's been for years. It seems like kind of pitted us against each other in a weird way. And so I've just tried to do the best I can for the city and with the companies, with the beer company, with Made in Detroit. I'm fine. The Kid Rock is a very good brand to do very well there. But with this stuff, I saw an opportunity to not only help some friends out, hire them into some companies and give them jobs, people that helped me out when I was coming up, whether it was nailing up, flyers to street poles or, making copies here and there, selling CDs out of our trunks, to give them opportunities, but also if we could, as we can make these companies successful, that I can help out more in and around the city and the state. And that's really the focus of these companies, and to have fun.
What part of this is to inspire young people to live healthy, become more active, get off the backsides, and get outside, maybe do something that will help them stay healthy? What can you say to young people? Maybe get them up and moving in that direction.
Can I say to young people, never really considered myself too much of a role model outside of just what I do. I'm not really a preacher, for lack of a better term. I think people just should follow their hearts and try to realize that there's a lot of opportunities out there. To try to take from example of people that they can find that they're entertained by, that they look up to, whether it's a role model in the community or somebody anywhere that just inspires them to do something that is going to help them lead a better life. Nothing positive. No, I was always working at my music. I played a little bit of sports, and as soon as I got a pair of turntables and got into the whole hip hop scene, that was it. And I did everything I could. Everything I could. I played every basement party and cabaret hall from Mount Clemens and the east side of Detroit, and spent all my weekends there doing that for no money, and, pressed up CDs. I used to stack cassette decks up 9 high, used cassette decks and run off tapes of the little recordings I made on a 4-track and go all over town and sell them to the little independent record stores. And, I was always working as hard as I could, and I guess that was something positive.
Sounds like you were busy.
I was busy.
What are you going to be doing tonight? You're here, you're going to do your sound check and all, but you're in town tonight. What's that going to be like?
Tonight I'll probably just lay low at the house. Me and my son. I'm going to go out of town for the weekend after Thanksgiving, so I'm going to spend some time with him tonight. Maybe we'll go out to eat somewhere. But
in the city?
I'm not sure in the city because he's back out in Clarkston.
How old is he now?
He's 17.
And what's he doing?
He's working for Made in Detroit. He was bussing tables at the local, our local established bar there in Clarkston for a little while. And then we needed more help in Made in Detroit, so him and one of his buddies were like, get your butts over there and start stuffing shirts.
Speaking of young people, what is year, and what's that going to be like?
Well, I wanted to do something special for my birthday, and first we were just talking about taking some friends and going on vacation. And after I realized nobody was going to throw me a party, I said, man, wouldn't it be fun just to do a concert somewhere in the city and celebrate it with the people that give me so much love, that I've tried to give as much love as I can back to throughout the years, and celebrate it with all of them. Once again, do something special and a little bit different. You know, we always keep our ticket prices low. I'm very proud of that. And so everybody can afford to come. And then maybe this, I'm thinking about as many guests as I can come in that I've been fortunate throughout the years to sing with. You know, you can probably guess most of them. I haven't confirmed any of them yet, but try to get those people to come in and make it just this different kind of concert, almost like a celebration of just music in our city and all the good things about down here. And I thought, too, it was a good opportunity with my birthday to once again try to, you know, I got so many nice, kind words when I played Comerica, the 2 shows, about people that were working down here in their bars, just saying, thanks, you're going to keep my bar, my restaurant alive for another year. And the people that were in Comerica working just saying, hey, thank you for putting me to work. Man, it was very strong and powerful, and I thought, man, this was another opportunity to do something downtown before we figure out our summer plans and kind of go off on tour and just celebrate.
In that vein of giving back, you also hooked up with Myers and got some gift certificates to folks to enjoy Thanksgiving, the other thing may not be able to have otherwise. Can you talk a little bit about why you were inspired to do that? Obviously, it's a big tough times here these days.
Because I could. Really, it was just that simple. You know, we started not too long ago, started the Kid Rock Foundation, where, you know, I know some people with money, so they gave me some nice donations for it, and we've been able to raise stuff here and there and to perform for people and make deals to put it into the foundation rather than just going into my pocket. And there's extra money in there, and I was like, it's Thanksgiving. I was like, and I know, you know, from living here that there's a lot of people, you know, going through a lot of things right now. So it's just something, just a little something I could do to just, you know, I had a whole packed week that week, and I canceled most of it, all these TV shows and everything. I was just really feeling run down and overworked, and I thought, you know, I just kind of sat back and regrouped, and I was like, I'd rather just sit home and do something nice right now instead of run around and do all this and try to sell, and make more. I just thought it was the right thing to do at this time of year, and I was able to do it. So, you know, just try to do it quietly and give them to the right people and say, get these out. But, you know, I've learned over the years, as quiet as I've tried to do things, that maybe it's better to talk about them and influence other people to do stuff.
Can I ask you about Born Free? First off, for a rock and roll Jesus to say he's not a preacher bothers me. But Born Free has become such an anthem in a very short period of time. But it feels to me like there's very much a Detroit voice at work in that.
Anything I do, there's a Detroit voice at work. You know, through all the songs I write, there's, you know, if you look hard enough, there's elements dripping all over there of where I'm from. Because I'm very proud of it, and I always tell other people that you should be proud of where you come from, no matter where that is around the world. But Born Free is really more of as patriotic as it is and everything like that. It was really something that was about, you know, being on with our troops in Afghanistan and Iraq and these places, and then really thinking about, you know, how lucky, by the grace of God, just to be born anywhere in any country that's free. You know, when you think about, you know, North and South Korea and China and not too long ago East Germany, and you see these countries like Afghanistan and Iraq over there, and you just, wow, you just really, I really looked at it hard and said, man, you know, whatever happens in this life, whatever journey I'm on, at least I can thank God I was born free.
What were Thanksgivings like for you growing up? What were your Detroit Thanksgiving memories?
My Detroit Thanksgiving memories. Well, probably the one that stands out the most is not too good. I set my aunt's house on fire. Honest to God, screwing around with my brother. And we just were allowed back a few years ago. But it was always spent together with family. Don't have a huge family, but most of them are here in and around the city. So it's usually at my parents', my aunt's house, somebody, just regular Thanksgiving. Cook a turkey, you know, getting a group, say a prayer. Everybody eats, and, you know, just is basically dysfunctional and drunk all night. Pretty much like everyone else's family.
And here we were thinking that your old rocker who's giving rock stars a good name. You are really doing that, though. How do you feel about that?
I've said there's enough information out there to make me into be whoever you want. You know, you can Google it, and if you want to make me out to be some crazy, wild, drunk rock and roll man, I am. And if you want to make me out to be, a guy who loves his community, he's tried to support it and support a lot of other people and do nice things when he's had the opportunity and be there and raise his son. There's enough information out there for that too. Probably not as much because I've kind of kept that as private as I can until now. So I'm all that.
Can you talk a little more about this We're All Detroit and what you're going to do? What's the future plan for that is?
Yeah, I kind of came up with that. There's a great store that opened in Somerset called the Detroit Shop, which is incredible. It's everything Detroit. I would really employ people to go there. Not only is it just a Detroit shop, but all the money goes back into the community. All the profits, like everything there made in Detroit, the profits are given back to the Kid Rock Foundation. So we can take that and do more good things in the city, like we've done at Wayne State with Carmana's Cancer, everything from the Boy Scouts on down. But we came up with it with the lady there. We were just having a small celebration with the record in town the other night, and we were talking about Detroit and wanting to do more things inside the city and not just the suburbs, and trying to find that connection, and we kind of came up with this We're All Detroit, and trying to make that, we thought of being a kid and go to visit my grandma in Florida, and they asked me where I'm from. Well, I grew up in Romeo, Michigan, but I would never say I'm from Romeo, Michigan. I'm from Detroit. And I think most people understand that, and that's what we all rep when we're around here. Pretty much, a lot of parts of the state, I do believe, especially southern Michigan. So we're just trying to come up with this thing with We're All Detroit, and right now it's just kind of, the hand and a little star, a little heart down there for girls, that says, like the Made in Detroit, We're All Detroit. And we even got a shirt with Detroit on the front where it says Awesomeville. And then on the back it's going to say, the city knows no limits. So.
Will there be events as well as products that are part of this?
Yeah, I mean, as you know, we sponsor a lot of events, Arts Beats and Eats, Detroit Music Awards, the Electronic Music Fest. We try to get involved in as much stuff as we can around town, especially, in the last few years when dollars haven't been there for corporate sponsors and stuff. We try to step up and get in on it.
Is that a freestanding store still here, maybe in Detroit? Because the Detroit shop, that's going to close right after the auto show.
It might. It might. We're looking at it. We wanted to start a Made in Detroit shop. I just finally got an office we're going to use for headquarters down here in Comerica Park. I've been working with Chris Illich on, so we can have like a spot down here for Made in Detroit and Badass Beer and really start to have more of a presence here. And we've thought about starting stores all over, but we have so many little boutique stores that we want to be real careful that we don't take away from their stores, because, they're supporting them and their families. So we don't want to come in with a store that's got all the goods and then everybody comes there and it kind of kills the mom and pops. So we're trying to find a place and be real strategic about it before we do that.
What led you to do times like these at the American Music Awards? And then can you talk about that song a little and how it came about?
Yeah, times like these at the American Music Awards, I kind of know the gist of the American Music Awards, and they're very pop oriented. People not playing their instruments, and fireworks going off with 18 dancers and all this stuff. And I just thought it would be very powerful and make a big statement to have a platform, especially it being the American Music Awards. I mean, not only does that song speak, is it written about Detroit and meant to be an inspirational, true tale about our city, but in talking to Rick Rubin when we made the song, he's like, people will relate that to their own towns, to what's going on wherever they're at. And I thought at this time of year, and that being such a powerful song, that it would just be the right thing to do, to not only make a statement about music in our city, but just to really, in the middle of this, I mean, Uncle Cracker had the funniest one. Like during the awards, after he started, he goes, "Wow, that was really moving. That was great." He's like, "Clearly, some of these other acts clearly hate music." it's like it couldn't be more clear. Like, it was just nice to throw that in there. When everybody's going this way, I like to go as fast as I can that way.
You also played the CMAs this year.
Mm-hmm.
If somebody would have told you 15 years ago that you would be a part of the Nashville family, what would you have said?
I'd have said they're crazy, for sure. Yeah, I still don't know how that happened, with the country music and Nashville thing. I mean, I've always made the music I love, and I guess when you look back at it, it makes a little bit of sense when you listen to Cowboy and Only God Knows Why off my first record. There's tinges of blues and country all over that stuff. Just kept progressing, kind of dibbling around in and out of that, and then when we'd recorded Picture, it got played by a few country stations, and I couldn't have stopped it if I wanted to. And it's actually been great. I love the scene. I love the scene in Nashville and in the whole country world. some of the pop world, when you go to the Grammys and stuff, it can be real. People coming through with 10 people in their entourages and pushing you out of the way, and it's just kind of a big whose ego is bigger. And the country thing is like everyone's doors are open, everyone's nice. It's kind of a small little tight community, kind of like hip hop in a way. Well, in hip hop, you get some of the guys that don't like each other, and
I don't have a press release from Myers. Can you tell us a little bit more about what you're doing with them with the Thanksgiving dinners, just as residents of the city?
Yeah, with Myers, it was just we were looking to partner with somebody locally. My first idea was I want to buy turkeys. I want to buy 1,000 turkeys and give them away to families that need them. We called a few turkey farms. They told us we were out of our minds. We don't have 1,000 turkeys. Are you crazy? So then we started thinking of other ways we could do it, and we were doing our deal with Myers for our CD and with my beer. And so we talked to them and said they said we have gift cards already made up, $25 gift cards that can get people a whole Thanksgiving meal for a family of 4. So I was like, great, let's get 1,000 of those and give them out to all the local media outlets. If I knew how to pass them out and had ways to distribute them, I would. But what I do is, I know the radio stations. We got relationships with the television stations. So I was like, just give them to all them, and then they can give them out however they deem necessary. And I actually just got an email on the way down here from the program director at RIF. There was an email from a family that got one. It was really it just made it all.
One-on-one then, what does that do for you?
Oh, it makes me feel great. It's a win-win. I mean, it makes me feel really good about myself that I'm doing something positive for our city, for people that need it. It makes me set a good example for my son, when sometimes I might not always be doing that. And the people that need it, hopefully, are really getting it. So that's how I kind of look at everything. Is it a win-win? I don't ever want to be the guy that, stole the cookie. I'd rather, if I got a cookie, I'll give you half of it.
What can we expect in your halftime performance tomorrow?
Halftime performance is kind of straightforward, born free. We're kind of going to strip it down and build it up a little bit, but a lot of what we're doing is involved with the field, some of the National Guard, local people around the city, and just to realize, being Thanksgiving here in Detroit and, being a big watch game in America, it's going to be, what I do best, a big Team America theme, I guess. I'll tell you, I'm pretty lucky. I called the last one when I came down, the only game I came to this year, and I would tell people to bet on the Lions tomorrow. I would say it. The Lions are good for this. They'll come in and they'll beat the Patriots at home. Get everyone excited again. And then we'll see what happens. Anything else? Is my son following my footsteps? He's interested in music. He's playing guitar and singing and stuff. I always tell him, you should find something else to do because you'll never be as good as me. Kind of got to kick him a little bit to motivate him, Yeah.
You got the first